Jane Lane from Daria at New York Comic Con last fall. One of my favorite shows ever, and she's known for having her black messenger bag with her all the time. I was like, yes, this is perfect. I finally have an excuse to just like have my bag with me, and I don't have to worry about it, like, you know, getting in the way of the costume. It was amazing.
All right, now, if you're just getting into cosplay, there is a certain, I'll call it a health risk involved. When you're learning to sew, learning to work with hot glue. So, panelists, tell me just a little bit about the process of learning to use hot glue, learning to sew your very first outfit, and your first experience with sculpting anything.
Terror, pain, hydrogen peroxide, tears. It was the summer right after college, and we're doing a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I was working mainly on costumed props, not sewing anything, but I did have to make a great big J because our Josephs were exchanging throughout different scenes, being played by maybe 5 different students throughout the production. So I had to, for the first time in a very long time, work with hot glue, which, although it does cool and harden very quickly, not as quickly as you think. So it ended with this massive pinky-sized blister on the side of my thumb that, when it popped, it was glorious. 3 feet shooting that bad boy off. It's a matter of, you guys have a resource that we never did in the old days, learning from the internet, YouTubing. Someone is doing a series of it. Whatever you think or want to do, and I've used this, I've cheated for zombie tricks left and right. A wonderful stage blood for that zombie outfit is completely edible and safe, and that is just corn syrup and tastes like chocolate. So it's peanut butter and food coloring and corn syrup, all completely safe and edible. Just put it on your hands, smack it on your face, be the zombie survivor who got out. I'm the one survivor from this season's Walking Dead. Just YouTube it. It's all out there. Save yourself the horror of getting stabbed by the sewing machine, which I know is the pain device with a pedal.
Yes, I was terrified of my sewing machine when I first started. But I mean, back to the hot glue. Actually, that's a really cool material to use when you use it safely to sculpt appliques right onto an outfit. I did a humanoid version of Carbuncle, which is a magical summon creature in Final Fantasy. And I made a bodysuit, I airbrushed it, but I wanted to get, like, you know, some sparkles onto it, make it really fancy looking. And the best way to do that was to put the bodysuit on, and using a trick my friend taught me, taking a hot glue gun, and while you're wearing the outfit, just, you know, gluing little swirls and everything all over. Little did I know how much it was going to hurt, so here I am stuck in this bodysuit, making swirl appliques with the glue all over my thighs, just screaming in pain in my bedroom while doing this. I mean, and plastic wrap underneath only helps so much. I mean, it looked gorgeous when it was done, especially when it was painted, but every time I look at that costume, I'm like, oh man, the pain.
PTSD coming in.
Vietnam flashbacks.
And there's a quote in the community that everyone says, "You're not a real cosplayer till you bleed for your cosplay." That'll do. It's just a quote that people, because they put so much blood, sweat, and tears into making their cosplays, that, you know, that they'll damage themselves. I know I've got a couple of hot glue burns, scars for life, because of trying to glue myself to a cosplay.
I've had a couple of occasions where I wanted to cut the backs off of a button so I could glue the button onto something, and it's really hard to hold a button in your hand with a knife in the other and cut the button without actually bleeding a lot.
But I would say though that my little last minute tip, if you're in your hotel room working on a cosplay, if you need to hot glue the outfit, it is not worth your time to finish the outfit. Or duct tape.
Now let's just address that. Dokudel mentions in the hotel room finishing the costume. So a lot of cosplayers, you see them at the convention or on the internet, and they're in this meticulous, perfect, amazing outfit. And what you don't realize is the cosplayer is probably been up with safety pins and hot glue and duct tape. And
They're sewn into it.
please go on with some of the last-minute cheats from people that knew they had a con coming in 2 months and didn't start until 3 days before.
I had a friend sew me into my costume in a hotel room once. I didn't get to finish the zipper on my costume, so the day I'm wearing it, you know, I get it on and my friend is stitching up the back where I meant to put the zipper in. So that was absolutely ridiculous, and looking back, obviously, I should have just, you know, been like, I'll wear it at the next convention, whatever. Because it was a full body piece too, so that meant that when I had to use the bathroom, I could not use the bathroom. It was a nightmare.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the Disney movies lie to you. If you sing well enough, birds and mice do not come out to start helping you with your costume around that. What they never go over is like, when and where did Ariel use the bathroom? For very good reason.
Dokudel, thoughts on last-minute panic and terror?
My last minute feeling, like I said, I feel like if there's just too much work to do for your outfit that you feel like you have to rush. It's not the end of the world to try to finish that cosplay in the hotel room. In the beginning, when you're a first timer, a lot of people feel like, I gotta wear this outfit, I gotta show everyone what it is. As you go on, it just doesn't, you don't need to push yourself there. You don't need to starve yourself to make sure that I'm gonna skip dinner, I'll skip breakfast, I gotta do this. You need to eat, you need to hydrate. You know, there's some people who would not drink water or something just so they can make sure they fit into that cosplay.
There is something to be said about the masochistic nature of the people who start welding and truly going all out on the giant robot costumes. And one of my favorite people that I've met throughout the conventions is a guy who lives up in Rhode Island. And one year he was a full-on 8-foot-tall Bumblebee from Transformers. The year before that he was the Mecha from the end of Avatar, the one with the blue furry Smurfs, not the good one with the people that punch fire. And every year he gets up into this costume and it's spectacular. So he's about 8-9 feet tall, walking around, and everyone can just point to it. That's Voltron, that's Optimus Prime. And one of the worst fears that he has is he's going to get up into the drywall stilts, assemble the headpiece, snap everything together, get the LED lights up and running, and then lean down and have to scream through a muffled outfit that has hidden his head because it's 2 feet lower. Have fun! We're not here to exchange your oil anytime soon.
So yeah, that is a rookie mistake when designing your costume. You should be able to pee while wearing it. Wear a family-friendly panel, so we won't dwell on that too much.
Yes.
All right. So now something that you mentioned about the stress of a con. A lot of people are going to cons in their elaborate outfits because they're going to enter the fashion or the costume contest. So. In a lot of popular culture, cosplay is depicted as a competitive event. But for every person that's on the stage, there's 100 people that's out in the audience. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience with contests first, and also how the difference between reality and how it's presented in popular culture and documentaries and fiction?
Well, I know when I first started cosplaying, and I feel it's the same for you too, the cosplay contests at the conventions were very low-key, really just for fun, and it was probably the only way to really show off your costume back then to, you know, everybody that was there, because we didn't have, you know, social media and everything. So the contests, they started out as like this fun little thing, and now I feel people look at them like they have to do it, they have to win. No, you don't have to do it, and no, you don't have to win. I've always looked at them as a fun thing, and that you shouldn't stress yourself out too much about them. Now that I've done enough of those, and I've started, and I hate using the word judging the costume contest. Like, judging is a really harsh way to say it. Like, we're there to really, you know, just check you out and hear about the work that you put into the costume. You know, like, I hate giving out the prizes too, because then it's really sad when you really like the costume and they don't get a prize, and you're like, ah, like, you know, we know how much work you put into it. We spoke to you beforehand. But they're really just like a fun thing, and that's not all that cosplay is about these days anymore.